Bonjour à tous. Comment ça va? It is Friday, May the 1st. We usually don't work, but because the time is just very subjective at the moment and you and I don't stop French, we have these two tales for today. Yesterday, I know it brought you nightmares. I'm really, really sorry, but I thought it was very funny. Today's tales are more surreal, and the second one is very, very, very surprising. So I look forward to hearing your thoughts about it. You could not guess if I didn't tell you, or if you're not a special, if you don't have this special job of being a typograph. Today I have a workshop in exactly 30 minutes, so I'm going to do that lesson in 25, so I have 5 minutes to make some tea. And let's start with the first tale, 1, 2, and 3. Bonjour madame, police du réel. Nous vous observons depuis un petit moment et vous avez déjà enfreint plusieurs lois physiques. Vous vous rendez compte de la gravité de la situation? J'emmerde la gravité, répondit-elle, et elle s'enfuit en volant. What does all this mean? Bonjour madame, police du réel. Hello madam, police of what? In France, la police is the police, so that's easy. And you might have heard of la gendarmerie as well. Gendarmerie, this is different. This is l'armée. So in everyday life, they have something similar. They're the one who check, they can check the roads as well. They have different responsibilities. I'm not an expert in the differences, but la police is civilians, and la gendarmerie, it is l'armée. L'armée des civils. And police du means that it is the police of something. Here it is the police of reality. Okay? Le réel égale la réalité, reality. So it is what is real, what should be following the laws of physics. And la police du réel obviously does not exist because this is a tale, and he is Patrick Beau, the author, is inventing a new police. This police does not exist. However, we have la police of something else. We have la police des mœurs, Vice, I found that it was Vice Squad. We also have la police des polices. So here, I have to stop saying so. Here, la police de or des something is about la police of a certain area. For example, la police des polices I found is AIPCC in Britain, and it is Bureau of Internal Affairs. And for those who watch British TV, it is what you see in Line of Duty. In the TV series from the BBC, a really, really good one. Line of Duty. And for la gendarmerie, for those of you who love French movies, you have to see the series about Le Gendarme de Saint-Tropez. It has to be seen. It is a series, 4 movies with Louis de Funès that we mentioned yesterday in Fantomas. Something that we watch every summer. Le Gendarme de Saint-Tropez from the 1970s, I would say, about la gendarmerie de Saint-Tropez, and Louis de Funès is one of the gendarmes, and he wants to be the boss, and he makes lots of mistakes, and it's very funny. Bonjour madame, police du réel. Hello madame, police of reality. Let's read the second sentence together. 1, 2, and 3. Nous vous observons depuis un petit moment et vous avez déjà enfreint plusieurs lois physiques. What does that mean? Nous vous observons. We've been watching you. We've been watching you depuis un petit moment. For a moment. But here it means for a while. Depuis un petit moment. For a while. And here I put petit entre parenthèses because in French, petit does not mean small. Well, except when you're literal. But most of the time, petit just means that something different. And here, petit means a long time. It does not mean a few seconds. It means for a while. So it could have been for a week, for a month, for a year. It has nothing to do with the length of time. We've been watching you for a while. Depuis un petit moment. And here you could remove depuis un moment and the meaning would be the same. But here they say petit moment to actually say, for quite a while. I could add quite. Does this mean the same in English? Let me know in the comments and in the chat. Depuis un petit moment, for quite a while. Here, again, it could be a day, a week, a month, a year. Depuis un petit moment. Et vous avez déjà enfreint. And you already enfreint. Déjà means already. Here we have deux accents. Okay. Can we do that? Yes. Deux accents. Don't forget them. Deux accents, accent aigu sur le E et accent grave sur le A. And enfreindre is to break, but it is to break a rule or a law. It is not to break an object. Enfreindre, to break a rule or a law. I'm checking my notes. Okay, yes, break the rule or the law. Enfreindre. For example, vous avez enfreint la règle numéro 1 du Fight Club, qui est on ne parle pas du Fight Club. I think that's the rule number 1 of Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. Vous avez enfreint la règle numéro 1 du Fight Club qui est on ne parle pas du Fight Club. So enfreindre is about breaking but a law or a rule. Plusieurs lois physiques. Several laws of physics. What does that mean? We're going to see what happens next. Nous vous observons. Here we have une liaison. Depuis un petit moment, depuis un petit moment. You could add one here. Depuis un petit moment. Et vous avez déjà enfreint plusieurs lois physiques. Okay. Let's read this sentence together. Vous vous rendez compte de la gravité de la situation? Se rendre compte, it is to realize. And I'm going to write this in American English with a Z. Se rendre compte is to realize. For example, je ne me rendais pas compte que tu avais besoin de moi. I was not realizing, I had not realized that you needed me. Avoir besoin de is to need someone, to need something. Je ne me rendais pas compte que tu avais besoin de moi. Vous vous rendez compte? Do you realize? of or about la gravité de la situation. La gravité here, it is the seriousness. No, sorry. La gravité, the seriousness. Do you realize the seriousness of the situation? La gravité, the seriousness de la situation, of the situation. And here again, you can notice that it is an affirmative sentence with a question mark at the end. And this makes a perfectly good French question in everyday French. Vous vous rendez compte de la gravité de la situation? Could be an affirmative sentence. Works very well. But here it is a question. Vous vous rendez compte de la gravité de la situation? There is no liaison here. And the twist, because everything is weird, even if you understand the French, so far you wonder what's happening here. Why is she breaking the laws of physics? And why is there a police of reality? What does this all mean? J'emmerde la gravité, répondit-elle. Et elle s'enfuit en volant. The whole twist is here. And this is where the fun is. J'emmerde la gravité here. Emmerder, it is French, it is vulgaire. It is français. Vulgaire. However, in the whole range of slang or vulgar French, it is not awful. Okay, it is not the worst. I don't want my son to say that, but in the context of the tale, it's not awful. It is not a taboo or anything. It is vulgar French at a level, let's say 2 out of 5. It's not awful. Emmerder is français vulgaire, to say screw something. And here it is, if we want an okay kind of translation, we could say, I couldn't be bothered with gravity. Here it might be British English, so if you're American, just find a way to understand, but you get the meaning. So I don't care about gravity. I couldn't be bothered with gravity. I don't care. About gravity. Answered. She answered. And here we have an inversion because this is how we say she said. We write said she. And she left flying. S'enfuir, it is to run away. You might have heard of fuir as well. Fuir, it is to leak. For example, mon robinet fuit depuis 3 jours. 2 jours, let's put 2 days. Mon robinet fuit depuis 3 jours. My tap has been leaking for 2 days. Fuir is also something that you can use to say to run away. And you can use it to say you're running away from. Le voleur fuit la police depuis 2 semaines. The thief is escaping the police, has been escaping the police for 2 weeks. But s'enfuir is to run away yourself, in a way. And en volant is flying. It is to steal as well. To steal, like that? I think that's better. Let's read this one again. J'emmerde la gravité, répondit-elle, et elle s'enfuit en volant. And here we have une liaison. I'm going to reread the tale and translate everything. Bonjour madame, police du réel. Hello madame, police of reality. We've been observing you, we've been watching you for a while. Et vous avez déjà enfreint, and you already broke several laws of physics, plusieurs lois physiques. Vous vous rendez compte de la gravité de la situation. Do you realize how serious the situation is? J'emmerde la gravité, and here gravity, it is gravity, as in the force that keeps you on earth. Répondit-elle, she answered, and she left flying. Et elle s'enfuit en volant. The joke here is that we don't understand why there is a police of reality and why she broke several laws of physics, because no one can do that. No one can break the laws of physics because these are the laws of physics. It's not a belief, it is a truth. It is a fact, which is sometimes so difficult for people to understand. Science is science. Vous vous rendez compte de la gravité de la situation. Do you realize how serious the situation is? And here, there is a play on word that we will realize later. J'emmerde la gravité, screw gravity, she answered, and she left flying. So she is breaking the rules of physics at the end of the tale, because no one can fly like that. She is a supernatural creature. She was not supposed to fly, but she can. So she is actually really breaking the laws of physics. So it is a joke on that. Let's look at the second one, which is way more tricky because it's not absurd. It is something that you have to know. This is why this tale is so interesting, because I will tell you something new. Let's read this together. Ce juge blond était en train de fumer quand un serveur lui apporta un vieux whisky de la part du monsieur au fond du bar. Qui est-ce? Un typographe. You can understand all the words, kind of, because they're pretty much the same. But why is that a tale with a joke? What does that mean? Ce juge blond, this blonde judge, était en train de fumer. Être en train de is to be doing something. To be doing something. Être en train de, it is to be doing something. For example, laisse-moi tranquille. Je suis en train de tourner ma leçon du jour. Leave me alone, I am filming or shooting my lesson of the day, which is true. Ce juge blond était en train de fumer. Fumer, it is to smoke. To smoke. Quand un serveur, when a waiter, brought him an old whiskey. Un serveur, it is a waiter. In this context, it can be something else as well in IT. Quand un serveur lui apporta, brought him, un vieux whisky, an old whiskey. What's that about? De la part du monsieur au fond du bar. We assume that the waiter is speaking here because we know that if someone tells you from, the man at the bottom or at the end of the bar, we understand that this is a waiter speaking. De la part de, it is from. De la part de, it is from. For example, voici un cadeau de la part de toute l'équipe. Here's a gift from all the team. De la part de, from the man at the end of the bar. Au fond de is at the bottom of, but here it is at the opposite end of the bar. Do we have something better here? Au fond de... No. Here it is not at the bottom like a bucket, but is at the bottom of the bar. So at the deep, even deep down is not good. I cannot find something that is good enough. So you can imagine it is in a bar. It is at the opposite end of the door. Yes, at the opposite end of the door. It is au fond Dieu for a bar. Who is it? Who is this man at the opposite side of the bar? Un typographe. Typographe. Do we have something? Typographer. Typographer, just figure it out. You know better than me. So it is someone who specializes in typography, so letters and characters and fonts, all these kind of things. And this is the joke. Because this man is a typographer and he's sending the whiskey to this man. Why is this a joke, or why is this a twist? Can you guess? It is really hard. Anyone who works in typography or knows a little bit or is a francophone knows the joke. Because it's something that you have to know. You cannot guess that. The only thing that could give you a clue is vieux whiskey. In French, we have what we call un pangramme. And you have this in English. Un pangramme, it is a phrase that has all the letters of the alphabet in it. A phrase with all the letters of the alphabet in it. And this man is a typographer. So he wants to test all the letters of the alphabet when he's doing a test for a font, for example. And as it happens, we have un pangramme in French that actually is that. Le vieux juge. Juge, I'm looking for it. Vieux juge bon qui fume. Okay, that's what it is. I don't know it perfectly. Voilà. For example, this one, which is the key of the tale. And you can find it on Wikipedia French, by the way. You can look for it. Portez ce vieux whisky au juge blond qui fume is un pangramme. And it is the pangramme that you use when you want to test a font in French, because it has all the letters of the alphabet. And you have to know that to understand the tale. And the joke is that you have this blonde judge who was smoking. And this is a kind of a cliche, but it happens, and this typographer sees him in the bar and he wants to make the joke, and he sends this man a whiskey to make the joke complete. Okay? This blonde judge was smoking when a waiter sent him a whiskey. Who is it from? It is from the man at the end of the bar. Who is it? A typographer. The typographer thanks this person for existing because he makes the joke complete. So it is absurd because it doesn't happen in any day of life, but it is a joke because this man exists, the typographer job is easy in a way. Remember, un pangramme, it is a phrase that has all the letters of the alphabet in it. If you want to have more information, you can check it out on Wikipedia French because it's there. And if you like these kind of things, like the little twist on French that you could not guess by yourself, or knowing more modern French, even slang to understand and to speak French better, I recommend you join Le Salon de Géraldine. I've been advertising this program on these readings because they're a perfect fit for people watching that. The next lesson is on Monday, and we have one lesson every 2 weeks. And I think my plan is to work on modern French and how to twist words of French to make them sound even more French and modern and colloquial and authentic. So it's an idea from my best friend who sent me a text this morning about râloter. It is like râler, which is to complain, but you add the O plus OT to make it sound more kind of doing it. So you're kind of complaining, but not really complaining. And this is something that I wanted to talk about on Monday. So maybe we'll do that unless something big happens in the weekend. So if you're interested in this kind of French, which is authentic and true, and the way that French people would speak, and you can absolutely speak it too because it's not vulgar in any way or use French, check it out. And I'm going to put the link in the description of the video. Check it out. Join us. It's 29 euros per month and it's really, really fun. I will see you demain. À demain, 19h15, 7:15 p.m. Paris time. I wish you une bonne soirée, une bonne journée, maybe une bonne nuit. I hope to see you in le salon de Géraldine. It's fantastic. And à demain. Bonne journée, bonne soirée, maybe bonne nuit. Salut!